Hey, what's up guys? Tom here. It's been a while since I came on to make a video, so figured I would jump on. Haven't really been buying a whole lot, so I've been doing some trading, some selling, more selling than anything. Sort of saving up for another car, so that's why I got some personal issues going on. All that, but you guys don't care. Let's get onto the records. Got some great stuff to show. I kind of picked out the best out of everything I've picked up, so some of these are kind of old, some of these are a little bit newer, but nothing crazy recent. So first up, one of the last Sonny Simmons albums I needed, Burning Spirits. I believe he released this under Huey Simmons actually, but it's actually a Sonny Simmons album from 1971 maybe. Sorry about the music getting so loud. I always have an issue with the volume. Yeah, 1971 at Contemporary Records. Really, really cool. Oh, gatefold goes this way. Usual cast and crew of players on here. You have, where's the lineup? Yeah, Barbara Donald, Mike White, Lonnie Liston Smith, Richard Davis, Cecil McPhee, Clifford Jarvis. Really cool. Really enjoy this album. I would definitely suggest checking this one out if you're into Sonny Simmons, or even if you're not and you want to get into him. Start with this one. I think it's a great place to start. Unfortunately, he sort of disappeared after this album. I heard he kind of went, you know, didn't really do too well. Kind of went bad luck after this, so he became homeless. Yeah, went through some stuff, but unfortunately. But anyway, you got a fantastic album there before he disappeared, so definitely go check that one out. Next up here, I don't think I showed this one. I might have. This is David Workman's Earthly Delights. I think I showed his first album actually, Cara Sweet. This is his second one from '78. This one's a bit more deep jazz, more spiritual. His first one was kind of more freer, more out. It was kind of more in still avant-garde jazz, but on the label is this on the Sweet Earth Records label out of Massachusetts. Small label. We released I think maybe 10 or so albums, but all great stuff. And then moving right along with that, also with David Workman, we have the New Life Trio. Something that I've been after for a long time before I finally found it. Got this one some months back, but really happy to have it. The label, kind of a plain label. This is on the Mustavik Sound, which I believe is Steve Reed's label. Steve Reed plays drums on this, Dave Rowan plays bass, and Brandon Ross plays guitar. So yeah, but fantastic, and a rhythmic free jazz, rhythmic avant-garde jazz from all the guys. Excellent, excellent playing. If you guys know Steve Reed, you should know that he's an awesome drummer in his own right. Really recommend that one as well. Picked this one up in New York when I met up with my buddy John. So what's up, John? If you happen to see this, this is Noah Howard Patterns, one I didn't have from Noah Howard. Once again, one of the last ones I needed to complete collection. I think I'm still missing one from him, one of his later ones. There's the label there. This is on Alt Sax, which I believe was like a private press thing, his own label maybe. But yeah, fantastic. Originally recorded for Dutch radio, so the quality isn't all that great. Sorry if I'm kind of looking away, but I got something going on. So yeah, originally recorded for Dutch radio, and then released in '73, I think. But fantastic, fantastic playing. Heavy free jazz. It also features Misha Mengelberg and Han Bennick from the ICP. It's the composer's pool. Along with Earl Freeman, Steve Boston, and Jap Schuhoven on guitar. I'm not familiar with. But yeah, recorded in '71 in Holland. Like I said, released in '73 over here, I believe. So, but fantastic, really cool kind of picture there on the back. Definitely recommend any Noah Howard stuff if you can find it. And then actually, speaking of the ICP, I do have a Instant Composers Pool records to show. Here we go. This is Instant Composers Pool. I think it's just called Instant Composers Pool. It's Han Bennick, Michel Mengelberg, and John Takai. John Takai wasn't in the ICP. He He was kind of just joining them for this record, kind of took the place of William Broker, but fantastic, nonetheless, really cool. I think this is a silk screen cover, and I'm not sure. I think I heard it's what it is. It feels like it is. Looks like it would be. But yeah, this is the second release on the ICP label. Definitely one of my favorites on the label for sure. It's fantastic European free jazz from the Netherlands. Yeah, another high recommendation on this one for sure. Really cool kind of design there in the cover artwork. Really like that one. Alright, moving on. Moving back to the US, back to New York. The New York Art Quartet, their first record, debut. I had this one for a little while, I just never showed it. Very cool, very cool. If you don't know who the New York Art Quartet is, once again, John Takai plays on here saxophone. You have Roswell Rudd on trombone, Louis Worrell on bass, Milford Graves on percussion, Leroy Jones. He's not really in the group, he does a vocal track on here, just a poem. Leroy Jones, aka Mari Baraka. Might be more familiar with that name. But yeah, like I said, one vocal track from him and the rest is just instrumentation, free jazz. These guys have a fantastic chemistry together. This is on the ESP disc label. This is the first pressing red label. Sorry, I keep dropping the damn sleeves. But yeah, really cool. I would say this is probably their best album maybe, although I really like their second one too, but this one would probably be a good place to start if you're not familiar with them. Or even if you are, just haven't heard it, go check them out. Alright, moving on to some long time ones here. This was a big one for me. Really happy I finally got this for a really good price. Joe McPhee's Nation Time. And original press, early press, whatever, on CJR, his own label from 1971, recorded in 71. Electric and acoustic instrumentation, Coltrane-esque inspired jazz. Fantastic. I could probably just do a whole video about this record by itself, but just go listen to it. It's online. Joe McPhee on tenor, sax, and trumpet. Mike Cole on piano. Tyrone Crabb on bass and trumpet. And Bruce Thompson, Ernest Bostic on percussion. So I don't know how many of you guys heard those names, but fantastic stuff. Just really happy to have this. Kind of a hard record to find. If you guys know it, you probably know. Kind of hard record to find, but yeah, fantastic. The second track on here is really cool. Kind of a perfect mix of like free jazz and funk. And the title track is an excellent example of the use of space on, you know, in jazz and just in music in general. How the use of space can make a track just great. So really nice kind of call and response. Kicking off the album between Joe McPhee and the track Nation Time. That's kind of, I guess, what it's really known for. A little chant there at the beginning of Nation Time. But yeah, groovy, funky, fantastic. Like I said, I'd probably make a whole video. I might do a whole video on this album, but... And then, another Joe McPhee I picked up, which I didn't have, was the Willishaw concert. I'm not sure how to pronounce that still. There's the label on that one. This is pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to unfold the whole thing. It's like a triple gatefold thing. Unfolds 3 times, but there's the back artwork. It's kind of reverse artwork at the front. But once again, a trio recording. John Snyder and Makaya Ensemble and drums. John Snyder on electronics, basically, and Makaya on drums. The synthesizer kind of plays a big part in this recording. Kind of a big tone, big sound. Definitely takes center stage at some point, so definitely more, yeah, definitely, like I said, we're giving more leeway to that than to the saxophone itself, but fantastic record nonetheless. This is from 76, I think, on Hat Hut. I think it's from 76, somewhere in the mid-70s. I think this is the second recording on Hat Hut, actually, so pretty cool. Already showed that one, got here. Okay, so going with the Joe McPhee theme, these copies of this have been floating around recently. Happy I scored a couple. This is Brother to Brother. Really interesting record, which used to be really hard to find. A little bit easier now. It's still not the easiest thing in the world to find. Kind of a bizarre record. It's not really music. It's more of a play, like a kind of bizarre and beautiful play. So it does have music in it, but more just talking. Like I said, it does have just like nature sounds, readings, poetry readings, piano. It has some chicken sounds going on, all sorts of weird stuff. Kind of interesting story about this too. The guy that produced this, he wouldn't ship them out. I guess you have to go to his house and buy them personally. You have to fill out an application for it and everything. And I guess, you know, being not that well known and stuff, not that many applications were received or approved, so not that many copies got out, and just he sat on a whole box of them. So they finally started coming out, and yeah, Joe McPhee put them up for sale through him, so that's how I was able to score my copies. But really cool. That's not gonna be for everyone. Like I said, it's kind of a one-off weird thing. Still really cool though. A cool piece of history. A couple Walter Bishop Jr. records, which I didn't have either of these. So Coral Keys and Keeper of My Soul. Yeah, finally scored both those. Really, really cool. Coral Keys from 71. Keeper of My Soul, I think, is from 73, I want to say. 74? Yeah, 73. Excuse me. Coral Keys, more kind of straightforward modal jazz stuff. Still really cool though. Soul jazz, modal jazz. Really, really cool. You have Idris Muhammad and Harold Vick on side A on drums and saxophone. And then side B switches up Harold Vick for Woody Shaw and Idris Muhammad for Alan Schweitz on Bender on drums, who I'm not familiar with. And when I looked him up, he was only on this, on that record. So yeah, this record. So I'm not sure if he did anything else, but Reggie Johnson plays bass on both sides. But like I said, soul jazz, modal stuff, really kind of black jazz, spiritual-esque type of music. Really, really cool. And then the second one here is a bit more varied, for sure. It gets a bit more funky, definitely. Still kind of retains that soul jazzy vibe. Still modal at times, but definitely kind of goes more all over the place. This one has Ronnie Laws on flute and sax, I think. Bahir Hassan on drums, who I'm not as familiar with. Really wasn't familiar with many of the players on here before yeah, Gerald Brown on bass. Abdullah Shakur on percussion, I believe. Yeah, on percussion, and then Woody Murray on vibes. So kind of an interesting lineup. Like I said, a bit more varied. I'm kind of definitely a bit more styled than the first album, but I enjoy them both. I think I like this one a little bit more than the first one, but still cool to have both. The other one I picked up in New York with my buddy John, this is the New York Contemporary 5. This is Volume 2, still after Volume 1. An original on Sonnet from Sweden. Fantastic, fantastic. Just playing from each of the guys on here. Great chemistry. If you don't know this group, once again, you're right there. Don Cherry, Archie Shepp, J.C. Moses, John Takai, Don Moore. If you guys are into jazz, you should definitely know about this one. Free jazz, yeah, avant-garde jazz. Maybe the first real kind of super group out there, but both melodic and free music, really influenced by Ornette. So, like I said, sorry if I'm looking away. Kind of the camera's over there, so I'm trying to see myself and look at the camera at the same time. It's kind of inconvenient to get a better setup, but Ensemble, Moon 2, First Feeding, the first album, debut album from Jamil Mundak. Jamel Mundak, I think that's how you say it, Jamel Mundak. His debut as a leader, kind of a late debut. This is from '77 on his own label, Moon 2 Records, but still fantastic. Nice private press free jazz with spiritual tinges, nice spiritual edge. Definitely reminiscent of Cecil Taylor times, and it's not surprising because he played with him in the past. So there's the label, kind of a plain label, but there's a lineup right there. Go check it out. Yeah, really nice. Actually, I got that from guy Dave. I also think Dave happened to see this, probably won't, but thank you for that. Last record I needed from, well, not the last, but one of the last records I needed from Charles Tyler. This is a Charles Tyler Ensemble. Ended up picking this one up locally a while back. Fantastic lineup on this one too, as well. Joel Friedman on cello, Henry Grimes on bass, Ronald Shannon Jackson, who just goes by Ronald Jackson on here on drums, Charles Moffett on vibes, and then Charles Tyler plays alto sax, even though usually he plays baritone. But for his debut, as his debut as a leader, he switched it up to alto sax and worked out great because this is just awesome. Lots of great solos from each of the musicians on here. And they're all fantastic musicians in their own right too, so it's no surprise. Yeah, Charles Tyler. I love Charles Tyler. I've talked about him before. He used to play with Albert Ayler, probably what he's most known for before his own group, but pretty cool. This is a first pressing, I believe, too, on ESP disc, so lots of different pressings of that one. Another huge record for me. So happy to finally have this. I showed this on my Instagram and stuff, but finally was able to find Phil Musra's Creator Spaces. The cover's a little bit beat right here, as you can see it's water damage, but the record itself, you know, plays fine. It's in great shape. Just kind of weird at private pressing, so I guess a piece of the label got stuck in the wax or something. It does make like a slight sound when it goes over it, but otherwise, other than that, it plays perfectly. There's the back cover. The inks are actually this thing, so the front and the back, it's all like one thing. They're both the same, but this is just the back, and that's what's on the back of this one too. I know it's kind of confusing, but just kind of stuck on there, you know, private press record. Either way, this is what we're listening to in the background, if you could hear it. Yeah, Phil Musra, long time want, kind of a legendarily hard to find record. Yeah, debut trio setting. Him, Phil Musra plays reeds, so saxophone stuff, organ, alto sax, flute, piccolo, soprano sax, zurna. Hussein Ertam plays drums, percussion. I guess they all play percussion. And then Michael Cosmic plays reeds, organ, sax, flute, all that stuff. So yeah, really cool though. Really happy to have this original. Got it for a really decent price, probably because of the cover, but I could live with it. I'm actually working on getting a better cover. Still an original, but just a little bit more in better shape. This was released on the Intex label, which is his own label. Fantastic music. Love it. I know Now and Again is reissuing this, as well as Michael Cosmic's record, his brother's record, and then an unreleased record as well from both of them, so really cool. I might jump on those as well, but I'm happy just having this, the original, been after for so long, so. Finally got the last art ensemble I needed on BYG. Reaching the Smooth Ones, didn't have this. Another one that's Paris recording from them. Really cool. Just one long track on both sides. I think it's called Reaching the Smooth Ones. It was actually a transition before, kind of transition in drummers before they added the second drummer percussionist, so. But really cool, always engaging, always moving forward. And this recording, never boring, so. Our Ensemble Chicago, can't go wrong in my opinion. Always great, always theatric if you happen to catch him in person, which I never did unfortunately, but oh well. A couple records here I got from my dad, finally Polish stuff. So this is Moving South. It's Wojciech Karolak, Michael Urbaniak, and Czesław Bartowski. Fantastic. I guess it would be labeled technically as like jazz funk, jazz rock fusion, but I think it's kind of doing it a disservice because the music is so damn good on here. Fantastic, three giants of the Polish jazz world. Yeah, the music kind of goes way beyond the label of fusion, you know, jazz funk, jazz rock, whatever, but so good. Highly recommend checking this out. It's called Moving South. That's the English name for it. You can find it under that title as well. This is just like a company sleeve. I guess it used to be Club Płytowy, so it's like a record club back in the day, you know, mail order stuff. So that was one of the only ways you can get it. But yeah, Moving South, definitely check that one out. right along with that one, other one that Pops hooked me up with, he went back to Poland and picked up some more stuff in his collection. So this is the trio Vyacheslava, Ganiela, or the Ganlin trio, to make it more simple. Yeah, really cool. Free jazz from Soviet Union, when it was the Soviet Union back then. So one of the, probably the only group to come out of there, or the most well-known group for sure. Might have been others, but not well-known at all. Fantastic. Fantastic free jazz. Definitely check this one out if you happen to get a chance. I'm running out of time, so it's probably going to be the last one here. Elvin Jones, Mr. Thunder. Really cool, kind of really unknown Elvin Jones record. Never hear anyone talk about this one, but I love it. I think it's fantastic. Spiritual-esque at times. He was kind of in between, you know, groups. I think it's just between his trio and his, was it the quartet? So this was released in 74, and I know he had a group in 73, and then in 75 as well. He had a different group, so. This particular group features, it's actually an insert, not just the thing. This is a, what we got for here. So we have Elvin Jones, Roland Price, Steve Grossman, Milton Suggs, and then guys that weren't part of the group but just played on this, Louis Agato on percussion, and Suyan Verger on more percussion instruments. So yeah, really, really cool. Like I said, these are just company sleeves. They come with inserts. So I kind of put the insert there to make it look a little bit better. But this was on the Pol Jazz label, originally released in Sweden, like I said, in 74. This is the Polish recording from 75, or the release from 75. But fantastic, kind of unknown Elvin Jones record. But it kind of goes all over the place musically. It goes from like melodic, upbeat, groovy to, you know, spiritual, hard bop, avant-garde jazz. Yeah, check it out if you're a fan of Elvin Jones. I love that picture too right there. It's really cool. I got time for one more. Got a couple more here to show you guys I could fit them in. So Lloyd Miller, jazz at the University of Utah. Really cool Lloyd Miller that I was never able to get up until now, doing this kind of Eastern jazz thing. So it's different groups with Lloyd Miller. There's like 5 different ensembles and quartets on here featuring Lloyd Miller. 8 out of the 10 tracks are his compositions. Kind of contemporary jazz mixed with his Eastern kind of style of jazz. So really, really cool. I believe there's 1 track on here online, so worth checking out. But anything Lloyd Miller is worth checking out, in my opinion. I think he did some great work. And to end it off here strongly, Elements, Joe Henderson, Alice Coltrane, essential jazz record in my opinion. Gotta have this. Fantastic, spiritual, avant-garde, jazz, modal, post-bop, whatever. 4 tracks, fantastic. Along with Joe Henderson, Alice Coltrane, yourself, Michael White, Kenneth Nash, and Charlie Hayden. And I think Kenneth Nash kind of definitely plays a big part in this, doing the percussion. Beautiful percussion playing on here, although beautiful playing from all of them really. Like I said, must have. I know this got reissued recently, so go pick it up. If you can't find the original, definitely go pick up the reissue. I was able to score the OG for a really decent price, so really happy about that. And that's it, guys. I guess I'll cut it off there. I didn't think I'd be able to make it through all of those, but made it through 23 minutes, and I'll kind of flow through them, fly through them, but like I said, had a lot to show. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back. I don't know when I have more stuff to show. Leave me comments if you want. Take care. Peace.